social media and how they accept themselves rather than depigmenting or treating. Thanks for also Dr. Ahmed for sharing some of the stories. I had the same story actually about a young kid brought by his parents, and they told me, can you cure this vitiligo, whatever the consequences, even if she will have kidney problem or liver toxicity, we don't care, just to cure the vitiligo. And the reason why, because anybody knows that they have vitiligo in the family, no one will marry from any girl in that family. So stigmatization is really serious in our society, Arabic literature and also in Asian culture. Uh, so in my presentation, actually, I'll skip the introduction. So since the previous speakers already know about vitiligo and prevalence, I just want to state that vitiligo was really mentioned in the Egyptian Kurdish around 1500 BC and was mentioned in literature also around 3000 years ago, and Latin or in Greek since 1000 BC. And in history also, cerulean plants been used thousands of years. So how really social media will change the how people look to vitiligo? You know, in social media we have influencers, we have other people, and we have any person can share his experiences. So now we'll see some of the famous people with vitiligo from Arabic region and from worldwide. You know, the famous one is Winnie Harlow, the famous model from Canada, and we'll get to know some of the local fashionistas or models from GCC, Egypt, and other countries. This is Winnie Harlow. She was famous since 2014. She actually participated in our model contents in the States, and since then she is the ambassador of vitiligo. She is famous just because she has vitiligo. She is different. That's why. And today, actually, for funny story, when I give my presentation to the conference, the man asked me, "What about this presentation? What is this?" I told him with vitiligo, and she is around having a $400 million just because she is different. He said, "Oh, I wish I could marry a lady with that disease." So, you know, when you see a model with a lot of money and famous just because of a disease, the people will look to that disease a little bit different. I hope so. So, just for a little exercise, if you can open your Instagram now account and just search hashtag vitiligo, you will see more than 300,000 photos of vitiligo for happy patients. Years ago, if I want to see a vitiligo photos from my country, Bahrain, very rare. I have to go to the hospital or to take photo of my patients, but I cannot see them online. Now, I'm seeing those patients online and for free, and I can do a study about it. Plus, they are interacting with others. They are happy with their diseases. They don't cover with makeup. So I'm glad to have some of those patients. And in one study actually about social media and impact of vitiligo, it shows that people with vitiligo like to have interact with others, like to share their daily life, and like just to get likes and discussion about their disease or daily life. They don't want to feel that they are living alone and nobody knows about their disease. And as I said, just they feel good as they just post their photos with depigmented patches. This is one of the famous bloggers in the States. Her name is Elizabeth. She have the disease since her childhood and like 4 years old. And she's happy just posting a lot of photos of her daily life with the hashtag vitiligo. You can see just some of her quotes. And she grew up very isolated, other person till she other big city, and now she is happy because of sharing her normal daily life, and people are accepting her. This is another photo of local girl with vitiligo. And in our region, you know, there is a famous Ghadir Al-Barjas. Actually, my wife is following her account on Instagram because she is famous putting new abaya models, new jalabiya. So she is really famous in our region. And you can see she don't cover hair vitiligo. And the other one from Dubai, Salama Muhammad, famous blogger. Also, she is presenting her vitiligo. And famous fashionista or fashion model from Saudi Arabia, Shahad Salman. She have a famous photo with Winnie Harlow. He's also a model. You can see this account of Salam Muhammad having around 400,000 followers for a vitiligo patient. That's something new for our region actually. And the other one is Shahad from Saudi Arabia, around 80,000. And for Ghadir al-Barjas, around a few millions actually followers. So I guess as a startup for our region, having such a number is excellent thing. Few years ago, I would never see such photo of a model from GCC with vitiligo. Another model from Egypt called Lejaina Salah. She is now a famous model and makeup artist just because she is different. Okay, so they are following actually Winnie Harlow steps. So it's good to have a role model and then we build up in our region. So rather than they go for depigmentation or treatment and not accepting themselves stigmatization, they are just going outside with their vitiligo. Another story from Egypt also, Mahmoud Hassan. He's a fashion model and also a trainer, sport trainer. He was actually uh, having depression when he was young because of vitiligo. People called him zebra, people called him cow in the school, and he had very difficult time. Now he's famous because he's having this disease. So he is a model and doing a lot of artwork also outside Egypt and have some exhibitions about his photos only. So this is just about review from newspaper with Mahmoud. You can see in Arabic that he been bullied in his childhood and called funny names just because of having vitiligo. So having vitiligo is not easy in our culture, but I hope in the future it will be more accepted because of those people only. This is just photo of Mahmoud and from Egypt. So Instagram actually made easy for vitiligo patients to share their lives. Okay, with just the hashtag, you can see a lot of posts of vitiligo. And nowadays, if a patient with vitiligo in Bahrain want to know any vitiligo patient worldwide, only from the hashtag, he can have connection with those patients, and they can discuss their diseases, their experience, how they get accepted, and this is from other project from a photographer from UK. Just to get his account. He's famous, this photographer now, because he's only concentrating on certain diseases. So he had one project to take photos of vitiligo patients worldwide and post them on Instagram. And also he have other projects of nevi and scars and post-surgery patients. Just he's taking those patients to make them, let's say, popular and make awareness about these. Is Mr. or L-Bank have around 100,000 followers, and you have different projects. You can see in the hashtags. So we have one project about freckles, vitiligo, melanocytic nevi, and scars. So this some photos from his project. Previously, you cannot see such photos easily in the internet or in Instagram. Now it's very easy. A lot of photos about different types of vitiligo and all skin types. Before we see it only in text box and presentation. So I just take this quote from Mr. Blank. He said that unique, striking individuals are always a great source of visual interest to work. So those unique colors are making him famous. He's another famous blogger with vitiligo in social media. Keep that, and this is the account of Ghadir al-Barjas, the famous Kuwaiti blogger. One for And this is just a video. Anyway, this is the Winnie Harlow, the Canadian model. And as I said, she's famous just because she is different. And she's now the ambassador of vitiligo worldwide. So nowadays, when a patient comes to my clinic, actually, I explain to them about vitiligo and explain to them about how they get accepted by those role models. So this is her account. You can see it's almost 7 million followers, $500 million in her bank account, only because of vitiligo. She doesn't need depigmentation. She doesn't need my treatment. She doesn't need tacrolimus. Nothing at all. She doesn't need dermatologist actually. If we treat her, she will lose her money. So we have to think a little bit different rather than treating vitiligo. Sometimes we just keep it. But as Dr. Ahmed also stating, it's not easy in our culture, but we have to make it like this. I guess next session, maybe next year, Doctor, we have to bring a psychiatrist with us to make a full session about vitiligo. And now there are these baby dolls with vitiligo. So we have to introduce this disease to our kids so they know there are some people who are different. We are not only one color. We are only not white, black. We have vitiligo, white and dark lesion at the same time. So this also will make the life of vitiligo patient much easier. So I hope within maybe 5 to 10 years, vitiligo patient will not come to our clinics. Not good for business, but good for them. Yeah. This is another photo on the right, Winnie Harlow, and the other one, this is the Shahad from Saudi Arabia. And this photo together, Winnie, Shahad. This photo was really popular and published in a lot of newspapers and a lot of web portals. So both are utilizing vitiligo to get. I didn't think of that before actually. My opinion, vitiligo patients they spend a lot of money to get a cure, but now they are getting money actually. This is the Mahmoud also from Egypt. He's doing a lot of artwork with his vitiligo. And also one kid, his name Abdullah, he's now ambassador of vitiligo. And in Saudi Arabia, there is a society called FAL, Riyadh, I guess. So these are other cases, but not spend a lot of time. You can see a lot of people are happy with their diseases. Just this quote from Winnie, have vitiligo. Today a kid told her, thank God couldn't switch color to you. You are beautiful like. Finally, being different may be hard, but unique. So I think we have to discuss it with our patients and to know what options of treatment or just to leave it and to tell them about stories of such famous people. Thanks a lot. And